The film opens in Nairobi, Kenya, where Alia Emoalim, a young girl, twirls a hula hoop in her backyard. British Army Colonel Catherine Powell wakes up and hears that an undercover British/Kenyan agent has been murdered by the Al-Shabaab group. From Northwood headquarters she takes command of a mission to capture 3 of the 10 highest-level Al-Shabaab leaders, who are meeting in a safe house in Nairobi. A multinational team works on the capture mission, linked together by video and voice systems. Aerial surveillance is provided by a USAF MQ-9 Reaper drone controlled from Creech Air Force Base in Nevada by Second Lieutenant Steve Watts. Undercover Kenyan field agents, including Jama Farah, use short-range ornithopter and insectophopter cameras to link in ground intelligence. Kenyan special forces are positioned nearby to make the arrest. Facial recognition to identify human targets is done at Joint Intelligence Center Pacific at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. The mission is supervised in the United Kingdom by a COBRA meeting that includes British Lieutenant General Frank Benson, 2 full government ministers and a ministerial undersecretary. Farah discovers that the 3 high-level targets are now arming 2 suicide bombers for what is presumed to be an attack on a civilian target. Powell decides that the imminent bombing changes the mission objective from capture to kill. She requests Watts to prepare a precision Hellfire missile attack on the building, and solicits the opinion of her British Army legal counsel. To her frustration, her counsel advises her to seek approval from superiors. Benson asks permission from the COBRA members, who fail to reach a decision and refer the question up to the UK Foreign Secretary, presently on a trade mission to Singapore. He does not offer a definite answer and defers to the United States Secretary of State, who immediately declares the American suicide bomber an enemy of the state. The Foreign Secretary then insists that COBRA take due diligence to minimize collateral damage. Alia, who lives next door, is now near the target building, selling her mother's bread. The senior military personnel stress the risk of letting would-be suicide bombers leave the house. Watts can see the more direct risk of little Alia selling bread outside the targeted building, and they seek to delay firing the missile until she moves. Farah is directed to try and buy all of Alia's bread so she will leave, but after paying her his cover is blown and he is forced to flee without collecting it. Seeking authorization to execute the strike, Powell orders her risk assessment officer to find parameters that will let him quote a lower 45% risk of civilian deaths. He re-evaluates the strike point and assesses the probability of Alia's death at 45 to 65%. She makes him confirm only the lower figure, and then reports this up the chain of command. The strike is authorized, and Watts fires a missile. The explosion destroys the building and injures Alia, but one conspirator survives. Watts is ordered to fire a second missile, which strikes the site just as Alia's parents reach her. They rush Alia to a hospital, where she is pronounced dead. In the London Situation Room, the Undersecretary berates Benson for killing from the safety of his chair. Benson counters that he has been on the ground at the aftermath of 5 suicide bombings, and adds as he is leaving, provoking her to tears, "Never tell a soldier that he does not know the cost of war." That was it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, do like it and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more videos like this. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah.